Okay, so last night I had one of your colleagues over to try and assemble her computer or her robot, and we had fits. And I could get one wheel spinning and could not get the other one. Told her it was okay, and as I was driving home last night, I realized what the issue was. She had purchased her motors online, and they sent a different kind of motor controller. You can see one here and the other one here. These are green and more square than the other ones that I had sent out in kits. And when I actually got these at first to test out, and what I found was the same problem we were having last night. One would turn one wheel, but when you started trying to do two wheels, it would only continue to do one, but not both. And that was aggravating. So, for those of you who have the boards that I sent out, they're the longer ones, you don't need to do this. But for those of you who have these square boards, this is what you need to do to solve the problem. And I'm going to minimize this for just a second because I have something else to tell you about. So what you're going to do is open up a terminal session, and I'll post this code in an announcement in Canvas here in just a little bit. And what you want to do is, I'm going to go back through several commands here. You want this command right here. It's called pin control. And then what you do to execute it is space set, space, and then the GPIO pins that you want to set to a higher power level. And in this case, that's 2, 3, 4, 17, 27, 22, 10, 9. And then you want to put another space in. You want to put OP to be sure that power is going out from those pins. It's generally not an issue, but just to be on the safe side, space OP, and then space DH, which stands for higher power. I don't know what the D stands for, but it's basically device high, something like that. But it's going to put out more power. And then once you type that in, you press enter. It doesn't look like a bleeping thing has happened, but it has. And so when you go over to run your code, you run it just like you did before, and both of those motors should start turning for you. It's aggravating that you order something from Amazon and it's one thing one time and another thing another time, so my apologies for the frustration. I certainly understand, but that's what's going on with that one, because once I upped the power to those pins, it started working. So for me it did. Y'all can call me up and I'll still help you do some troubleshooting. Now, let me pull this back out. The other thing that she ran into that I suspect a few of you are running into is you got a breadboard. I had in the kits eliminated the breadboard here because I was just running jumpers, had the right wires to run the jumpers from the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi to the board that then the motors, the controller boards for the motors. When you get your kit, if you've ordered it online, and I applaud you for that, thank you very much, what you'll have to do is you'll have to take and plug the female end of the GPIO wires into the correct pins here. And then what I generally do is follow the GPIO scheme. So GPIO 2 goes into hole number 2 here, GPIO 3 over here goes into hole number 3, so on and so forth. And then you use that next thing using your sheet. You'll take 2, which will go to motor 1, pin 1. 3 will go from the breadboard number 3 to motor 1, pin number 2, and so forth. For power, you lucked out a little bit. It may not feel like it, but in a way, you've got it a little bit easier. What you need to do is just plug one pin into the 5-volt power source on the GPIO pins that's on the sheet, and then plug the other one into ground. The ground will land on the next to the blue stripe, and the plus or the 5-volt output will land on the red side with the red stripe inside between those two stripes. Then what you can do with those two motors is go ahead and run your positive lead to the positive lead on your controller board, and the negative or ground lead to the negative lead on your controller board. And you can do that on for both boards because you've got all these rows right down here. Now moving across this way, GPIO 3, I would try to fit them in as close as you can. You don't have to, but definitely try to keep them out of the slot here. I haven't tested it over here. I haven't had time to go that far into it, but that's generally how that works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and post the command for those GPIO pins as well as this video to YouTube here in just a second. And if you have any questions or whatever, you can get in touch with me. I finished up 2 other classes today. I've got a few stragglers in those classes, but my focus now is helping you guys out with this before Saturday. So let me know if you have any questions or issues, and talk to you soon.